All right, it is 7:02, we're now 7:03. We're gonna call the Tioga Commission meeting to order. We're gonna start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
Thank you. Tim is appearing by phone tonight, so it may be a little hard for here, so we may ask him if he can hear everything that's going on as we move forward with this. Okay, we'll start with the approval of the commission minutes, meeting minutes from June 3rd, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. All right, with a motion and a second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote. Yes.
Yes.
All right, so most, commissioner reports, Tim.
I really have nothing to report.
All right, yes.
I do have something, actually. One of our officers is receiving an award for best police, small town police. Officer Sarah Woodman. So she's receiving a state foundation. Pretty big deal.
All right, we'll move on to modifications or approval of the agenda. Couple of modifications here, looks like, there's a quote for, concrete crushing. Okay, from the, street director, Mr. Odegaard. Next one's gonna be added to the agenda is gonna be, commercial vehicle parking, in relation, on Elm Street. As it relates to the park and surrounding businesses. Attached to that will also be park concerns. Next one's going to be removal of staff from the bank account. And then estimate for a sprinkler system for the baseball fields. Any other things? I have nothing.
Also, the estimate for the sprinkler system and the bids for the floodplain for the baseball fields.
That's the baseball one. All right. All right, and no other modifications or changes, so can I get a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Awesome.
All right, with the motion, the second, the questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move on.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so you want to sit here for a while? All right, we're gonna go with old business, Liz.
All right, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
And no, hold on a second. Okay, hold on a second, Liz, let me call you. You can- All right, I do on speaker, go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, might get a little bit tricky going back and forth between cell phone and Zoom, but I'll do my best. For this evening purposes, first, I suppose, as we all know, we just had an election. I believe the first meeting in July will be the first meeting of the new commission. I think that's slated for July 1. I'd have to triple check that on my calendar, but I believe that to be correct. I will appear at that meeting in person because that will be the reorganizational meeting. I've been through a couple of boards now, and I just wanted to indicate that I deeply appreciate the service of the members who will be departing after this term. It's a tough gig, politics, and sometimes thankless, but many of us are aware of your service and we are appreciative. So it's been a pleasure to serve with those who will leave, and I wanted to have the opportunity to say that this evening. And I also wanted to welcome the new members of the board. I think that's also important. It's hard to throw your hat into a ring, especially when the ring is sometimes on fire. So congrats all the way around there. We do have a couple of items on the agenda, which might invite my participation tonight, but I don't have anything terribly particularized. I did note the modifications on my side. I don't think there was anything I saw under the engineering report that required my attention this evening. I did see in item number 11, there's some city-owned property that again may invite my participation, but we'll see how that discussion goes. And I think that's all I have for this evening, and I'll see you all in person on July 1st.
Perfect, thanks. All right, engineer report.
Good evening. Few updates for you tonight. The first being Tioga Dam Emergency Action Plan and safety improvements. I did include the final report and memo on the safety improvements in the packet. It was quite lengthy, so I hope it didn't cause too much loss of sleep there, but we did pretty well present on that here a few meetings back, kind of going over what details are included in the report. So I've already ran through the findings. So any questions related to that item? Okay, we will move on to the recreational trail project, also up at the dam there. The bid opening was held for that project on June 5th at 2:30. There were a total of 5 bids received on the project. A tabulation of the bids received included in the packet. The low bids, I guess there's kind of two low bids on the project, depending on which option, asphalt surface or concrete option. So the low bid for asphalt was Bechtel Paving. That bid was $775,438.25. For the concrete option, the low bid was Knife River with their bid of $1,010,051.75. So I guess with that, our recommendation would be to award either option depending on I guess which surfacing you want to go with. Answer any questions?
So for the asphalt option, they came in quite a bit considerably lower.
Yeah, so actually, you know, both options came in well under the estimate. The asphalt we had estimated just over 1,040,000, so that's 260,000 ish under the estimate, and then the concrete was up at 1.4 million, so 400,000 estimate. So very good bids on project there. Kind of depends on whether you want to go with the asphalt or the concrete. I mean, there's pros and cons to both. You know, you look at asphalt and it's higher maintenance and whatnot, cheaper upfront cost, but has a higher maintenance. However, you know, in the winter it does, or in icy months, I can see dead winter, but icy months, it'll help with, getting a little heat to help, melt off some of the, there's a little sheet of ice on it, things like that, whereas, concrete, of course, being lighter colors, that's quite as, for that, concrete comes with the higher upfront costs, of course, before lower maintenance, costs for the life cycle. So, different, I guess, things that we, on both options there.
That's pretty happy to see that asphalt did come in that low. That was pretty good.
All right, is there any motions?
Well, I like the asphalt part of it. I make a motion, we accept the bid from Bechtel for the asphalt at $775.
Actually agree. I think it would be better. Even if there's less winter things for the guys to take care of out there.
So,
If they want to be honest.
seconded? Because you agree, doesn't mean that.
Yeah, I'll go with the asphalt. I'll say.
With a motion and a second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so
Okay, moving on to Third Street Northwest, North Hanson Street reconstruction project. The asphalt paving on that project was completed here a couple weeks ago. So we'll be scheduling a project walkthrough here. We have a meeting on the North Main Street project with them tomorrow, so we'll look at scheduling that walkthrough to complete that project here next week or so. Task order number 7, North Main Street reconstruction, construction update on that project. Things are progressing well. They've completed all the removal of asphalt and majority of concrete removals on the project. They're progressing along with the sewer replacement. They've replaced the sewer from 2nd up to 5th Street. And then been the last couple days they've been working on sewer service connections, getting those completed in that portion of the project. And they'll have one more block of sewer replacement on that project. Water service replacement, storm sewer surfacing work after that. So things are moving along nicely with construction on that project. Only other item on that project is the Department of Water Resources funding through the State Water Commission. That was approved by the State Water Commission last week, Thursday. It's just a little over $630,000 cost share that will be provided from the state for water replacement and associated costs project. So good news on that. So on to water service line inventory. So we've been over the last several months, we've been working with the state on completing water service line inventories for a number of communities throughout the state. And wanted to provide a little update on that. We submitted Tioga's documentation back on May 30th. That was customer survey library's sample site plan and some historical records. And just waiting on review comments from the state. Once they get to them, we have a large backlog of them as they've been receiving them, but, once we receive that back, we will, if there's any comments, we'll address them, and then they'll provide a letter to the city. Met the deadline of the initial submittal requirements, and they'll follow up likely additional steps and more information will kind of come from the city on that this summer here. So with that, that's all I have. Unless there's any questions or other items you have for me this evening.
Tim, do you have any questions?
I do not. Sounds good. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you very much.
Right, thank you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Anderson, regarding the fuel station.
Bob Anderson. I guess we'll try this one more time, and I'm gonna try to be respectful. But I've been asking a little bit of questions about this gas station for a long time. And the last time it said the meeting or the contract was signed. Well, on meeting on May 20th or May 6th, it was not. When I was here, asked for it to rescind. May 20th, meeting was canceled. June 3rd, when I come here now, Sunday, it said it was signed. So I was at the city today and I asked them if I could get the paperwork, and they told me that I had to fill out a special form.
The record request form, correct?
Huh?
The records request form?
I handed this one in on Wednesday, nobody said anything. So anyway, I said, that's fine, and I picked up the sheets. And I guess I'll have to wait to the next board, I'll fill them out. But basically, it was just a simple question. When it was actually signed between the city of Tioga and actually, there's two questions. How many bids were put out on the place, or when was the bids put out, and how many bid applications did you receive?
It's my understanding there's only one person or one group that does that on this side of the state. So it was just one bid we received.
And you reached out to them then?
So
We have the paperwork.
it looks like it was signed when the board approved it on April 1st, 2024.
Well, how come when I was at these previous meetings right after that, trying to get you to rescind it? And then you were gone one meeting and then asked you to rescind it. And never heard anything about it until June 3rd, that it was already signed. I'm just saying that, it just seemed awful funny, but I guess we'll just wait till the next board comes.
Perfect, sounds good. Thank you. Library board,
I have a letter from Veronica McKennedy that would like to be considered as a board member for the Tioga Library. That
is that the only other one?
would be only. We did that.
All right,
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
all right, with a motion and a second to accept the only letters we received. No questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so moves. Next is gonna be the estimate for the speakers for the community center.
I received an estimate, actually paid that. For the speakers for the main room, it is in the amount of 75,460.
Did you get an opportunity to review that, Tim?
I have not really.
Okay. Would you like to? Since you haven't had an opportunity to review, it, would you like to make a motion to table it?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think we got time on that, so I'd make a motion to table that.
Okay. Motion to table?
I mean, I'm fine with tabling it, but was there some time sensitive thing with that?
That's the kind of order it. About 6 months.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know what it consists of, that's something we would talk to. About. We can't hear what she said. I'm sorry, Jim McGinnity is the person who is doing the speaker system, and he says it takes a while to order them.
So are the speakers being ordered through Jim or
He does all the ordering.
Jim and you be where?
He's out of.
Yeah,
I believe his name is Brand, is his name Randy? Randy?
Yes, I apologize, Randy McGinnity, sorry.
I was really confused.
I
I was like-
just don't, I haven't worked with him one-on-one, it's Haley that does all the work, I apologize.
Makes a little bit more sense.
Randy. Sorry.
I don't think 2 weeks is gonna make a difference, and unfortunately, Tim hasn't had a time to review the.
I understand.
so we can't-
I'm sorry, I just had questions, so, I'll second the motion to table.
All right, any questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote on tabling it?
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, guys, yes.
All right, so moves. Let's move on, Tioga fund application.
There's an application from Tioga Rec Council, in the amount of $6,525. The Tioga, fund has reviewed it and they make a recommendation to approve.
I take a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, with the motion and a second to approve the Tioga fund request. No questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so moves. Next, is that the only one? All right. Next is gonna be local charity permit application.
Received a local charity permit application from, Tioga Public Schools, Sarah Sparkle. For a raffle permit.
I will make a motion to approve.
Tim, did you hear that?
I didn't catch that last part.
What Jess said, or the,
It's for a local charity permit for the Tioga Public Schools for a raffle. I made a motion to approve.
Yeah, okay. I make a motion to approve.
I need a second.
yeah, can you second that?
Second.
All right, with a motion and a second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so moves. Next is gonna be gaming site authorization.
Received 2 gaming site authorizations from, the American Legion for Model Tavern and also for Madhouse. Model Tavern will be having bingo, raffles, pull tab dispensers, electronic pull tabs, tip board, seal board, punch board, prize board. Sports pool, poker, paddle wheel with tickets. Madhouse is asking for bingo, raffle, pull tab dispensing device, electronic pull tab device, tip board, seal board, punch board, prize board, sports pools, poker, paddle wheel with tickets.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Did you hear her, Tim?
She made a motion?
Yes, I made the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, with a motion and a second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so move, next is gonna be a liquor license renewal application.
We received liquor renewal applications for, Deb's Thai Kitchen for non-sale. For Core Decisions for on and off sale. Come and Go for off sale. Farmers Union, for off sale. Cashwise Liquor for off sale. Model Tavern for on and off sale. Need a Chico Taco Shop for on sale.
Just a new opportunity. I'll make a motion to approve all of the liquor license renewals.
I'll second.
All right, with a motion and a second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
All right, so move, next is gonna be the estimate for the fence of the baseball field.
An estimate for the security fence. Actually, it's for the removal of the existing fence and to reinstall at a later date. In the amount of $10,300.50, for to put it back up and $3,500 to remove it.
That sounds pretty fair. I'll make a motion to approve.
Hold on just a second. Tyler had a question. It looks like removing the existing fence is $3,500. Reinstalling the fence at a later date, $10,363.50.
Which baseball field is that? It's the one next to the community center.
The one that is moved.
Yes.
Yes. All right, Tim,
I'll make a motion to approve.
One second.
all right, with a motion and a second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so moves, next is gonna be city-owned property.
We have a property across the street from Wagner and Sons Construction. And, it is ID number 30300000072170005. It is a property that we, don't have in teacher store for, so I'm asking if we can put it up for bid.
Who's that someone?
What is the property zone as?
I think it's either C2 or light industrial. It's right behind 40 signals.
All right, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Place it for bid, correct?
Yes, two please.
Okay, and the second, Tim?
Yes.
All right. No questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
So moved. All right. Number 12, contract with North Dakota Sewage Pump and Lift Station.
This is a North Dakota Century Code state requirement. It's a contract with North Dakota Sewage Pump and Lift Stations to check all our lift stations. And position for approval of the contract. It is in the amount of $3,750 for them to check.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
Also,
All right, with a motion and second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, will you vote?
Yes.
yes,
All right, so moves. Next will be the estimate regarding the concrete crushing.
our street superintendent, Kurt Odegaard, has asked, for you guys to consider, doing concrete crushing this year. It is $6.50 per yard. We are requesting 10,000 yards to be crushed. It is the amount of $65,000. This is in this, budget, and you guys did approve this last year, but, for transparency purposes, we wanted to.
You said it was in his budget for last year. Did we do it last year?
Hey, must need some room out there. I'd make a motion to approve.
Yeah,
All right, with a motion and second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, will move to vote.
Yes.
yes,
All right, so moves. Next is gonna be Tyler. We'll talk about the, parking on Elm Street first, and then whatever concerns you.
Tyler Judkins, Tioga Parks. This winter and this summer, you know, we've had a lot of projects going on in town. There's been salons parked up on Elm Street. At first, they were parking by the storage unit, wasn't a big issue. We've got a big issue right there. The way you guys have moved stop signs and yield signs and stuff of this nature, you now pull all the way up to the end. There's a fire hydrant there, and all of the apartment people park right up to it. So you really got to get your nose out, peek down and come and go. And now you've got 4 or 5 semis sitting on this side. So just before I came here tonight, I heard the horn beep again, and it was a truck kind of cruising through when a lady came through. I haven't said anything to anybody. I don't think it's up to me to do so. But it's happened to me lately with the dump trailer hooked on. I've asked them on weekends and stuff. They got the hoods popped up. They're doing oil changes. They got their dogs in their tent set up right there next to the park shop. And they're just making a huge mess. I know we don't allow it in the community center parking lot, so I'm wondering why we allow it on the street. I don't believe that should be a 3-way, 2 trucks, or a convenience to hang out there while you're waiting for your loads to come. So I think we should look into that here in the next few days before this project gets over. Maybe put some signs through there that says we're not going to allow it. The second thing that really gets me the most is this. We're on 3.5 years of road construction down at the park that should have ended 2.5 years ago. Okay. It's still not complete. I didn't hear the engineer stand up here today and speak anything about strata, but nothing has been done around the log pavilion. I don't know about you guys here, you know, in the audience, but to me, the log pavilion in the park district in town is one of the most beautiful places around. And when it comes to the commission, I don't feel as though the commission feels that way. Because, for example, you know, we beautified the whole thing and then they come back in and they tear it up. Right, and I believe, I haven't looked at it, but I believe whatever you tear up, you should put back in the same condition that it was or better. That's my word, that's how I live my life, okay? That doesn't matter here. It was never tore up and put back in better condition or back to the condition it was. For example, the park shop, I want to say when we built it, we paid probably 10 grand worth of washed rock for the campground in the park shop to get the mud out of there and everything, and it worked great. It actually packed it like concrete. When the project was done, which it still isn't done, but I okayed it just to get them out of it. Okay. But then the park district sent the city, I believe, a quote for $3,700 that we went back and bought washed rock to put back in the park shop because it was nothing but crushed concrete. Okay. So the crushed concrete, I'm gonna get a little picky here, but it's doing nothing but tracking on everything that I have, and it's going right into the park shop. And it's crushing the floor. I'm tired of cleaning it up. So we took it upon ourselves to go and buy the same stuff, have it delivered, send you guys to it. I was just notified here a minute ago that We did so, but it was denied because we didn't give it to the Moore Engineering. I don't think it's up to me to give it to Moore Engineering. I think I should give it to the city. We're under the same umbrella. We need to work together here, and I don't feel like we've been working together. I gave you a price a month ago to hydroseed everything that Strata has done from the park shaw, across the park driveway, all the way down through the campground, over the spillway by the church, over next to the log pavilion, in all the spots where you tore all my fire hydrants out, all my watering spigots around that still has not been grassed to today, okay? So here I am, I've been here 6 years. What's coming up here this summer, from what I hear, is a big event, all school reunion. So there's gonna be a lot of people that cruise into Tioga and say, wow, what happened over here? Okay, and I think it's totally unacceptable that on 3.5 years, I still don't have grass. I hydroseeded 2 weeks ago and I've mowed it twice. And I gave a small bid to Commissioner Christensen. The hydroseed by the log pavilion is still on. The pool is still tore up. That was another project, not Strata. Now we're talking about Crow River. That was a project from last year that should have been completed. I don't know if you guys gave them the leeway to go through the summer, but now we're halfway through the summer again. They just laid pavement and it still looks like a freaking month. Okay. So now we got 850 to 1,000 people, so don't you, cruising around town, coming down to the park. If I start watering it now, it's nothing but a mud pit. Sorry, you've got to jump over there to walk over here to visit your friends in the campground. Or you need to walk over there, jump over there to go visit your reunion class. It's going to use this pavilion, this one, and this one, and this one. I sent the price got denied. At first it was like, oh, is it 15, 10,000? I'm like, no, go for 5, okay? I got denied because it was going to get done next week. Well, it's been 3 weeks since then. We still got no grass nowhere. We got it down the strip, but I want to say this. The work that was performed by Strata with the come and go and everything else here in town is probably the best example of non-acceptable dirt work. It's pretty bad when the park district can smooth out and grade dirt better than a company that's been in business for 100 years, okay? So there's that issue. The third issue is, just for people earlier, the baseball fence thing came up. The baseball fence that's getting moved, for people that don't know, that's got nothing to do with the park board, nothing to do with the park district. The city's moving that baseball field to expand on. I just maintain it. That's really all we can do. That's all we can say. So if we're gonna spend money here, pull it up and spend money back there, there's really nothing. Okay, but the biggest thing right now, we need to get grass seed down last month. Okay, and we still need to do that. And the bill that was submitted, I don't know if it rolled across all commissioners' desks, but if you're thinking about making a purchase of $75,000 on a speaker system, I really hope you make a consideration to send a check down to the park district for $4,500.
So I was told that was supposed to be done as per contract, but it was supposed to be done like the next, what happened?
Okay, time out. $4,500 is all you need for the grass?
No, we're talking getting the driveway back in shape, which it is now.
Okay, but what about the grass issue? It's not gonna get resolved before the.
No, but we can't really address it now because of what I just said.
Right.
I could go put, anybody could go put something now. We gotta water it right now. It's not time to water because in 2 weeks, everybody's gonna be here. Okay, so we have to just deal with it, dirt here, and hope that nobody asks, why is this looking like this? Okay. Issue 3 is this. And I came here tonight to introduce myself to the new commission, and I think some of you guys are here, pilot judgments, okay? I've been here for 6 years asking, along with the park district, I don't think it's fair that we double dip with taxpayers' money. And I'll say it like this. We spend about $25,000 a year to pay the city of Tioga for the water usage. Pool, watering, Legion Field, you name it, okay? So, and I've talked a lot of this to Tim, and that's why I'm here, Tim. And I go to Tim because Tim comes and he throws he volunteers his time, and I always see him at construction meetings. I always see him here. Tim, thank you for that. I do. Communication, so good. And I hope it gets better with the new crew. I've talked to Tim because Tim is the water superintendent. I want to ask again, you guys will find it in you so that the park district does not have to tax the people in town to pay for the water. And then the park district, which is taxed, turn right around and write a check to the city of Tioga. I think we can find it somewhere, new commission, and I'll come here next month to introduce myself to the new commission. Because I want to ask that same thing, and I don't want to hear, oh, we need the money because we need to buy new trucks and we want to do this. I don't think that's right. I think we should find it somewhere, set a set amount. If we go over that, we go over. But that's a huge issue we have. I kind of took it upon myself to come here tonight. So I hope I don't get a lot of retaliation later from the park board, but I think, if we can start working on those things, and whoever, I would love to ask Larry Mays, but Larry Mays is not here tonight. I've sat here for 3 years and Larry Mays has said nothing about road construction updates, nothing, he has nothing. So I hope whoever gets allocated road projects here in town need to start on South Main Street and work your way back through here and fix what we've already messed up before we start going any further. I want to say that as Tyler Judkins taxpayer, not Tyler Judkins park board. Okay? I gotta get that out there. I don't want to intertwine them, but it's bugging me. I understand there's a lot of stuff that goes across this table. And thank you guys for doing what you can do while you're on that board.
I can tell you right now that I can't wait until next 2 weeks when I get to sit on that side and I get to be Kevin Litton, taxpayer, citizen of Tioga, because I'm gonna be like Mr. Anderson, but of Tioga. Because I think our voice needs to be heard, and sitting in this position, I haven't been able to do much. So.
Well, I just gave it to you. Thank you guys for doing what you're doing. But
And Tyler, you have done a great job at the park. You just.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. But I can do better. The communication with Kirk has gotten good. The communication with Kirk again as water superintendent has gotten good. Everything's fine. We have meters there. We're ready to water. We just got nothing to do so. So I really hope we can look back at that rock middle of bringing our parking lot back up.
In my opinion, it needs to be given back to Strata because it's their problem. Like you said, we do not do construction. We don't do destruction. We do construction to make stuff better. So in my opinion, it needs to be given back to Strata because it's their problem, not yours. It's not ours.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sorry, what was that?
Was there anything to be talking about the roads? Or just taking up the?
Stuff has been given to them back through our engineering. And then we're also in litigation with some places. Stuff is being done. Unfortunately, the wheels of justice are not exactly fast.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, come on up to the podium for me, please, if you don't mind. Thank you.
I live and own the apartments of Hillcrest and Benson. On that roller coaster road, going past the Tioga First Lutheran Church, that's where my apartment's on, Salford, directly in the house. I would like to know when my handicap driveway that you guys let dirt in the street, when that's ever gonna get covered, instead of me 72 years old. And I'm not happy about it, having to shovel the dirt back from the snow plows in the winter. And it comes up on my handicap. And then in the summer with the rain, all the mud, and I shovel it back for my handicap people. And it's still mud. I'd like to know when this would be a project. I live on the south side of the tracks, so maybe that's why. Nobody drives there or what?
Coming into the street or I'm sorry, where are you showing?
My handicap driveway, because you guys have never made it to where it's paved on your street on Benson. South Benson.
Got the road up to put the irrigation system.
We did the whole darn road, and the whole road is like this. You got roller coaster back. And it's better. And I have no one people who
That's
live in my apartment.
streets of them.
Right, I was just asking Josh.
That's the project that's in litigation.
I'm not in litigation, I live here and I pay taxes here and I don't want to hear it.
All right,
I totally understand.
I definitely get the
I
frustration.
went toe to toe with him and Dan before, I told them then it's done wrong. It was still a big hole then, they didn't want to listen to me because I didn't know anything. I'm a pipeline construction worker. I was in ditches. I carried skids, I know, you guys heard that and you didn't care. And then I was waiting for the seeding to be done. Oh, I had to seed my whole place, so you might have to seed yours.
all right,
And it's not right.
okay.
And then I'm told by Dan, and I didn't like it, I have to pay for it myself. Oh, yes, you did. And he's easy to get along with, just ask him.
Thank you. All right, next is going to be the removal of staff from the bank account.
A resolution 2024-09, dated June 17, 2024. Be it resolved by the City Commission of the City of Tioga, Williams County, North Dakota, a resolution to modify the signature cards for the City of Tioga bank accounts. Whereas the City of Tioga, Williams County, North Dakota is a municipal corporation organized and existing under the laws of the state of North Dakota. Whereas in order to facilitate the processing of the City of Tioga business, the city auditor has requested that Abby Salinas, auditor, Desiree Hansen, deputy auditor, and Veronica Peterson, deputy auditor, be listed as signers on the City of Tioga bank accounts, and that Sarah Wagner be removed from said signature card effective June 17, 2024. Now therefore, the City Commission approves the removal of Sarah Wagner from the City of Tioga bank accounts.
All right, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, with a motion, a second, the questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move the vote.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so moves. Next is going to be the estimate for the sprinkler system and the modifications to April.
Received estimates for the sprinkler system in the amount of $20,000 for the new baseball field. And for dirt work and culverts in the amount of $387,000.
Yes.
Wendy Lindsay, I just had a question just for clarification. This is for, again, for the baseball field that's being moved for the community center expansion. And I understand that the budget was a maximum of 16 million for that project. Are we not considering the expense to move and put in a new baseball field part of that 16 million? It just seems like we've set a 16 million and then anything that's going to be above that, we consider it a different project, when ultimately it's truly happening because of the community center expansion. Similar to the new speaker system, similar to a $100,000 electric sign out front. I guess I'm just wondering how you determine what is part of the community center expansion project and what isn't. Just for clarification.
So this was not part of the community center expansion. So the price did come in at 15,385,000. I don't have the exact numbers right now with me anymore. But this can be added under that umbrella, or it can be put to the side in its own umbrella, by itself. It's just how the commissioner would like it done.
Does that answer the question, Wendy?
Yes, we came in just like around 800,000 shy of that 16 million. So.
Yeah, with the 3% contingency, right? 2 or 3%.
Yes.
Which probably isn't accurate, right, for a project of that size, but I guess my question is, all of the other expenses that are being approved that are not part of that 16 million, how do you determine? Because that was said before, the moving of the baseball field was completely separate from the 16 million in the community center expansion. And then we have the 100,000 for the sign at the community center. And it seems like several things. So I'm just curious if you can clarify what's part of the community center expansion project and what isn't. How do you determine that?
That's up to the commission if they would like to put it under that budget, under the community center, expansion budget, or would they like it separate? I look for direction from them on that.
But don't you think that everything should be added together to actually know the total cost of the project? 'Cause what you're doing over here affects everything, so, you can't call that separately, I would think.
You can, and it doesn't hurt it. It would just take money from a separate
It
pot. It
just
would
would
take
take
money
money
from
from-
oil and gas instead of the community center money, yes. But it's up to the commission how they would like to use that. Or
Because-
put it, take it from it in whatever pot.
Tim, have you had an opportunity to review that?
Yes, you know, it's. I guess I'd be fine with it going either way, even with the community center or without. Yeah, we're moving it because the community center expansion, but we could just have one baseball field too, but I think it'd be nice to have two. And I really think it's an asset to the community to have two baseball fields close together and kind of right in the middle of town where kids can ride their bike and get to easy instead of like on the outskirts of town, like most of these towns have it. I think it's a real asset that we can, even though it is gonna cost a lot, but to keep that baseball field there.
All right, so is there a motion on the floor? However you guys want it?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Okay. Do you want it to, because you had mentioned being part of the community center project, do you want it to do that, or do you want it to come out of its own stuff? Do you want to add that to your motion, or do you just want to leave it and let it come out of its own thing?
I just leave it on its own thing for now.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, with a motion and a second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move the vote.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so moves. Last portion of the agenda is going to be the consent agenda, which includes planning and zoning application, pledge holdings as of 5/31/2024, payroll 6/7/2024, bills of May 2024, financials for May 2024.
We'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All right, with a motion and a second, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move the vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll move.
I'll second.
All right, no questions, comments, concerns from the board, we'll move to the vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Meeting's adjourned at 7:56. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, guys.